As we are on to Hardwire for map number 1 of our winners match in group number A. Top right-hand corner, Storm Gaming managing to get the win against Rogue and sending out an early SCV. Oh boy, it's GUMIHO. And in the bottom left-hand corner, the man whose PvT looks practically untouchable if it isn't a top-tier Terran is Dragon Phoenix Gaming's Hero. And we'll see if GUMIHO is a top-tier Terran as, oh my, how does he do it? This is... I mean, that's pretty much, that's almost game right there. Hero scouts with the proxy, finds the barracks. GUMIHO just cancels it. Doesn't even want to try and do the SCV micro to finish it. Is going to go for the engineering blade block now just to delay this Nexus. But yeah, the barracks at home is going to be super delayed. The tech from GUMIHO is going to be super delayed. Everything is going to be delayed here from GUMIHO. Actually, this worker fight does go in favor of the SCV. Does actually have 5 additional hit points. The shields now are generating, so that probe will be able to find its way out of there, cancel onto the engineering bay, and that means the Nexus is going to go down for Hero. And for GUMIHO, should be seeing the CC placed down on the high ground. Doesn't want to risk putting that, you know, in the natural base location, because you already know, listen, Hero's going to have a tempo advantage. The Protoss is just going to be ahead. I had to cancel my barracks across the map. That's how it works. And again, because GUMIHO didn't want to try and do the SCV micro to finish it while the probe was harassing it, everything's just going to be a little bit later. Factory is immediately started up, though, and this SCV is actually quite low. GUMIHO going to have to continue to run it away. Will manage to snipe off the probe with the Reaper as the reactor is immediately built as a follow-up, but it's actually a Zealot across the map that finds an SCV kill. Does just harass the supply depot a little bit, but that's about it. So the Adept now shows up. Reaper is going to have to back on up some good micro here so far from GUMIHO, actually keeping this Reaper out of firing range while still getting some damage, but that's a good snipe onto the SCV. GUMIHO not microing it away, not using the stop command micro, finally does there, but the Adept is still going to be able to get it. And this is so much value from Hero, already getting 3 workers, 4 SCVs in total actually, and now the Reaper is so low health, the Adept can just stand there and try and fire against it. Another Adept is here, the other Adept shades to the low ground, and that means that the supply depot is going to go down. GG, Hero just closes it out like that. And I suppose the saying goes, if at first you don't succeed, try again. And that is, in fact, the mantra that, well, GUMIHO's taking it quite seriously. Is going to be going once again for this proxy barracks, but hey, look who's being a little bit sneaky as well, potentially. We'll see if this is just going to be for that proxy scout. I mean, Hero being quite thorough with this probe to try and see what's going on. We'll eventually send it across the map to try and scout on out as we have GUMIHO at home with the double gas. That does mean you're going to have that faster factory off of the CC. Nothing out of the ordinary so far aside from this guy. And of course, this isn't ever going to kill the Protoss. Realistically, this is meant to apply pressure. It's meant to get a really fast Reaper across the map. If the Protoss doesn't respect it, if they don't build a Zealot, then you're going to find a few probe kills. And we'll see if that's going to be the case. As 2 SCVs are being brought down, factory will be placed alongside the supply depot, and well, that will trap the probe inside. Other than that, not too much else going on. The Reaper finally going to pop on out. We'll see how much damage GUMIHO can get done with this. I mean, realistically, what you could do is put a bunker in that wall just to be annoying. And it's a move that you've seen someone like Maru do when he's doing a proxy, is just bunker that wall. Get a Marine out, get a Reaper, get some Marines off of it, and just be the most annoying person you possibly can, and it actually works very, very well. not going to be the case. That was a very nice dodge there from Hero with the probe. Going to be able to get it on into that extractor, the assimilator, sorry. The Reaper jumps on out, but guess what the follow-up is? It's concussive shells. And GUMIHO, he's not taking a base. No, he's building a Hellion at home. It's concussive shell marauders. And again, this is where I would love to just have a bunker here in this wall as GUMIHO. You can start to knock down the pylon. You force a probe pull, and then you'll have concussive shell marauders joining. Overall, it feels like it could work, but GUMIHO has not opted for it. Instead, just going to go for the marauders. The shield battery is being built. Tech lab now being added on. Hellion, 2 Marauders going to come across the map. The shield battery not quite finished up, but it will finish up now. As finally the bunker's going to go down, but it just feels a little bit late because the SCV is immediately focused down by the 2 Stalkers, and GUMIHO has to back on up. And you invest the money into the Marauders, you invest the money into the concussive shell, and it just doesn't get a lot of value. Again, if you had that bunker already up, if you were continuing to apply pressure with the Reaper, then maybe that works. That is not the case here. As we are seeing a second gateway being added on with the Twilight Council and the robotics facility for Hero GUMIHO. Kind of putting this game into an awkward position here. Finally going to float that barracks back. Has Marauders, Cyclone, Hellion. It's a weird mismatch assortment of units here from GUMIHO. Really, you know, he's got the Easter bin of units. You know, usually it's a bunch of assorted candies, but no, for here it's just an assortment of Terran units. Are going to knock down a probe that was being used for scouting information. It's the Dark Templar Shrine at home for Hero. And is GUMIHO going to be ready for this? Well, it's a reactor on the starport. There's no Raven that's going to be out. So far, no engineering bay has been built. But, oh, there we go. A drop onto the main is going to force a recall, and GUMIHO should see the fact that that's a DT Shrine. Immediately the snipe onto the medevac, though it still stays alive. It's going to dive back in for the repair. And these concussive shell marauders now, there's no shield battery. Absolutely ripping through these Protoss units. Finally, the medevac goes down. We should see another Stalker fall as it befront the Cyclone and try and harass the Zealot. Fortunately, the shield battery is pretty good. The Zealot will actually manage to stay alive. One more Cyclone shot would have done it. But now it's DT time. One first Dark Templar warping in. The Warp Prism is on the way. An engineering bay is being built. Starport hasn't swapped over to a Raven, so GUMIHO assessing the situation properly. And it's going to be a Nexus at home for Hero, going up to 3 bases. And this game is certainly in a weird spot. These DT's not going to be committed into that base just yet. Gonna, of course, be waiting for the opportune moment to strike. The first DT now going to try and find its way on in. No missile turret in the natural just yet, and the Raven isn't out, so we're going to see a few SCV kills go down. The scan is popped from the main, but still, 4 SCVs go down. Not exactly the value that you would exactly want from that Dark Templar, as the Warp Prism is zoned out from the main base. More DTs being warped in, Blink on the way. And Hero right now just trying to assess the situation, figure out what the right plan is. And I think the 3rd base really is the correct call for the Protoss. You have a lot of time while the Terran is trying to build up. I mean, obviously you have the stim pack, you have the combat, or you have the +1/+1. Or just the +1 actually, stim pack and combat shields on the way in the +1. As Archons have been morphed in, so we are going to see an Archon drop come out here from Hero. And honestly, the Archons are quite hard to deal with. Of course, they're just a little bit beefy, so it's hard to get them into position. That's a great interference matrix to try and get the kill here, focusing down the low health. Archon will get the kill. The other one makes its way out. As that is a 2 health Archon. That's 2 health points right there. Manages to survive. Blink is on the way, though. Right now, I mean, Hero is getting quite strong, but this push coming across the map from GUMIHO, it's going to be something. I mean, it's 3 racks, factory, starport. It's standard, but it's 3 tanks with this push, and you're working with Blink Stalkers. No +1 for GUMIHO just yet. I mean, it's very, very late. Has an Archon. These 3 tanks are just so deadly as GUMIHO trying to make this push work. Hero trying to just find the angle to hold on. A bunker being built. And this is a very old school style of push. As this Cyclone actually finds its way around, gets a lock on onto the Warp Prism, has to back on up immediately. And this position, absolutely insane. As the tank's gonna be pushed on forward, Warp Prism still being used for scouting information. Hero, ooh, gonna be able to hold on. Actually, this push from GUMIHO here doesn't have the tank support just yet, so loses quite a lot of his Marines. Even with that anti-armor missile, still, the Immortal has finally dropped off. The Marines are almost all dead, and now it's just really mostly tanks that are available. Charge is almost done, and you have pretty much a 2-angle attack set up here from Hero, who's going to try and collapse on in now. Charge lots going in. The tanks were caught in the middle of the siege. And that means that a lot of them are going to go down. The damage is, I mean, massive, but the charge lots just get so much value. And Hero is able to force the backup. Luckily for GUMIHO, does have, I mean, a lot available to him. Boost up, gets on away. It's 62 works to 53. GUMIHO does need to hold on to his counterattack. Luckily, it is just the charge lots. As another DT Shrine is on the way from Hero. Obviously forgot that he built the first one, but here we go. Tries to come in on in some great stutter step micros so far from GUMIHO. +1 armor going to finish up very, very shortly, though, for Hero, who's taking a 4th base. I mean, it's even if this attack doesn't kill the Terran, it's soon going to be 4 bases versus 2 for the Protoss. And that's a situation that is almost impossible to come back from. As Shadow Stride is on the way, the second Dark Templar Shrine was canceled. Hero realized, oh yeah, I did rush that out. I forgot. Picks up the Immortal, and here we go, looking for the surround around the bio. GUMIHO was not watching, has to pick on up. The tank was on siege. The Raven is going to get dived on, is managing to get off an anti-armor missile, though. Gets a lot of value as the Widow Mines are burrowing, but there's so many charge lots. The splash damage. It's so much done, but it might not matter. There's just so much Protoss here inside the base of GUMIHO now. As more Warpins are going to come through, the Immortal is going to hold back the SCVs. This choke point is, I mean, deadly, and it's actually getting so much value for GUMIHO, but finally the Blink Stalkers blink away. They get on out, and the Zealots are let through as the production is now under attack. Units that are being rallied out are now having to fight immediately. The SCVs are being pulled. Already 23 have gone down as Liberators siege on up. I mean, GUMIHO might be able to hold this, but the DTs have been warped in. And the Dark Templar, there is a scan available for them. The Raven is also here. I mean, GUMIHO is actually holding. The DTs have to be picked up. Have to get on out. Hero not able to kill GUMIHO, but does it matter? Because, I mean, right now it is a 3-base Hero. He's looking to out on a 4th Nexus. As Warp Prism does go down. Hero loses everything. But behind it, what does he have? It's 69 workers to 28. Is 4 bases versus 2. It's going to be soon +1 versus +1, so GUMIHO won't even have that advantage anymore, but he has a massive army. He has his workers, and GUMIHO knows that he has to pull the trigger. There is no more waiting around. He has Liberators. He has +1/+1 bio. He has a strong army. And that's what GUMIHO is going to try and take advantage of now. Snipe onto a Marauder. Stalkers blink away. Hero being so annoying here with this micro. As shield batteries are being added on in. Hero knows that he needs to hold. He knows that this is the last-ditch effort for the Terran. There we go, Liberators pushing forward. A great force field. Means that a lot of these SCVs are going to be able to be picked off at the beginning of the fight. And now Hero getting close to evening out this army count. Liberator sieging up, 3 of them now available. GUMIHO, he's gonna stim on in. This is it, the last ditch effort for the Terran to win the battle. The Raven blinks on top, gets blinked on top and manages to survive as the anti-armor missile goes down, and GUMIHO is actually trading quite well. He's losing all of his workers, but his army is still alive as the Liberator is trying to get value, but they all get cleaned up, and GG. Hero is going to be the first player to advance out of Group A.